It is time to talk about competition which exists between OpenAI and DeepSeek. Let's take a look. The competition between OpenAI and DeepSeek represents a significant shift in the artificial intelligence landscape by pitting the established American leader in proprietary AI against a lean Chinese open-weight challenger. DeepSeek has disrupted the market by offering models that rival OpenAI's performance, particularly in coding, mathematics, and reasoning, at a fraction of the training and inference cost. What are the key areas of competition between OpenAI and DeepSeek? First of all, performance and reasoning. DeepSeek's R1 model, released in January 2025, has shown performance on par or slightly better than OpenAI's O1 model in specialized reasoning tasks. Next, cost efficiency. This is important. DeepSeek is significantly cheaper, with reported training cost of only 6 million compared to over 100 million for top-tier OpenAI models. DeepSeek's API is roughly 20 or 50 times cheaper than OpenAI's, disrupting the AI economic model. After which, what we're gonna be talking about open source versus proprietary. DeepSeek releases its model weight, allowing researchers and businesses to run them locally, fostering a collaborative ecosystem. And OpenAI keeps its advanced models, such as, for example, GPT-4 and O1, proprietary through a closed API ecosystem. And finally, architecture and efficiency. While OpenAI relies on massive computational power, like brute force, to train large-scale models, DeepSeek utilizes techniques, for example, like mixture of experts, so-called MOE, multi-head latent attention, MLA, and reinforcement learning to achieve high performance with lower compute resources. This is important. Next, what are the key differences and strategic focus between OpenAI and DeepSeek? Let's take a look at OpenAI's focus. Aims for general purpose, high performance, and multimodal AI, for example, text, image, audio, etc., integrated into a mature ecosystem, for example, Microsoft Azure Cloud Platform. DeepSeek's focus specializes in technical reasoning heavy tasks, often favored by developers for coding and data science applications. And finally, between two of them, data security and privacy. DeepSeek allows local deployment, which some users prefer for data privacy, whereas OpenAI requires sending data to their servers. However, concerns regarding Chinese data regulations and potential censorship exist with DeepSeek. Like I told you, there is a lot of politics around artificial intelligence at this moment. And finally, impact on the market. Let's take a look. Stock market disruption. The release of DeepSeek, for example, R1 model, caused a notable decline in Nvidia stock, highlighting investor concern over the reduced need for expensive CPUs. Democratization, interesting one. DeepSeek has accelerated AI accessibility, allowing smaller startups and developers to use state-of-the-art models, important for a lower cost. And obviously, allegations. Following DeepSeek's rapid success, reports surfaced of potential unauthorized data acquisition, with OpenAI investigating whether DeepSeek used in technology to develop its own models. Obviously, there is lots of competition, rivalry based on politics, on different market segmentation, and so on. However, we should avoid politics, but also a good artificial intelligence professional fundamentals course should obviously mention the politics involved and competition between both rivals, OpenAI and DeepSeek.